I first started hunting when I was 10 or 11 years old. I started out squirrel hunting. I shot my first squirrel when I was 11 years old, like I said, and the first squirrel I shot still had the nut in his mouth after I recovered it. And I thought that was kind of a neat thing. I remember going hunting with Dad when I was younger, going to the duck blind, going to the deer stand with him, and just sitting with him and hunting and having a good time with him. And that's how I kind of really loved hunting, was just by going with him.
If I didn't spend time outdoors, I'd be a lost soul. Even when I'm in town and at the house, I like to do stuff around the yard. I like to do stuff outside. Well, I try to hunt and fish as much as possible. I spend a lot more time hunting. I was a big fisherman growing up. Spent a lot of time on the lake. I was raised up on the lake here in Tennessee, and I love to get out in the outside. I don't like to be inside too often, and I really enjoy the outdoors and being outside and the camaraderie between friends and getting to camp and hunt and spend time in the wilderness. And that's where I feel most confident and more comfortable, and I really enjoy it, and it's a true passion of mine.
Blood brothers, an ancestral bond between like-minded individuals that share one passion. New Breed TV, brought to you by Cherokee Sports. Blood Brothers TV, share your passion.
I work down at ADM, which is a soybean crushing plant, and I make the oil out of the soybean, and that's where I met Cole at. And of course, we share the same hobbies. We like to hunt and deer hunt and stuff like that. And he's the one that kind of got me back into turkey hunting, because like I said, I started when I was 16, and the first year I went, I didn't have no luck, so I quit doing it. Well, Cole just talked me into getting our turkey tag. And like I said, we got to talking. We became pretty good friends. We like to hunt together and just kind of hang out together. And we went out to my grandmother's and was hunting on her piece of ground. And I hunted out there all my life, deer hunted, and never did see any turkeys out there really. So he said, well, we'll go out there and try it. Just because you're never out, he said, you're never out here in the spring. You don't know what goes on in the spring. So lo and behold, I killed a big triple-bearded gobbler out there. And actually, I think Cole was more excited than I was, because the way he jumped the barbed wire fence after I shot it. And then when he seen it was triple beard, that's when he started yelling. Fast forward to kind of this year, same thing. I got a turkey tag and I went on my way the first day. Didn't have any luck. Cole called me, said he had killed his, so he would come out and help me call. And we set up the first day and had 2 birds come in, but we don't think they could see the decoys, so we just kind of decided to let them go on, and we would go eat breakfast and call it a day. Come out the second day and set up a little closer on these birds, and we heard them gobble off the roost, and they come down, and of course they went the other way. So we had 2 other birds off to our left gobbling.
Where's that turkey at? Behind us?
No, straight down off
right.
Yep.
He's gonna come out in this.
So I started deer hunting when I was 12 years old. I didn't kill nothing the first year. And then the second year when I was 13, I shot a little 7-pointer opening morning. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was just one of those things you never forget. And then when I turned 16, I decided to try turkey hunting, because I can drive myself around and do whatever I want to, really, as far as hunting. So I did the turkey hunting 1 year when I was 16 and didn't have any luck. I thought it was too hard, so I quit doing it.
don't believe that this bird is going to walk back in the woods yet.
I didn't think so.
And then when I started working at ADM, I started working with Cole, and he's a good friend of mine now. We like to hunt together, and I know he's a good turkey caller and a good turkey hunter. So he told me to buy a tag and try it again. And called, and of course they gobbled their heads off, and we looked over and they was up on top of the ridge, and we thought they was coming. But actually, for whatever reason, they didn't want to come down to us. We don't know if they couldn't see the decoy or what. So they moved on to the field behind us, and we could still see them out there gobbling and strutting.
Blood Brothers TV will be right back.
Blood Brothers, to me, means folks all across the country sharing the same love for the same thing. It's the tie that binds. It's the thing we all have in common. Thus, the definition, Blood Brothers. We may not know each other. We may not have ever talked, but because of our love for what we do in the outdoors, we're all blood brothers. We're all kin. Anybody that you see, anywhere you happen to travel, if he's got camouflage on, if he's got a sticker on his truck or whatever, if you're in a parking lot somewhere and you got a flat tire, that would be the first person you'd go to. He'd be the guy that you could count on helping you out. You would have that common bond, even though you never knew the guy. We all look for that enjoyment that we find in the outdoors, our time off. You know, whether you take vacation time to go hunting or whether it's what you do for a living or whatever it is, it's the same for all of us. It's the desire, it's the enjoyment we get out of that. It's all of it. Our love for the outdoors, hunting and fishing and sitting in a tree stand and watching the sunrise or a duck blind or watching the mist come off the water when you're out on the lake getting ready to make your first cast, all that stuff, we all have that same makeup, that same wiring in our chip. So at the end of the day, we're all blood brothers. And guys, that's what we're going to show you here on Blood Brother TV. We're all blood brothers. Whether you're hunting the most expensive lease in Arkansas during duck season, your granddaddy's farm in Iowa, or public ground right here in Tennessee, it's the tie that binds us together that makes us all blood brothers, is the reason we're out there and the reason we love it. I'm a blood brother. Are you?
Welcome back to Blood Brothers TV.
I like turkey hunting because it's fun to chase these birds around. It's exciting. You're usually always on the move. You usually always hear birds gobble at you. That's why I like turkey hunting and duck hunting, because I get a chance to call at the birds. I love calling. I'm not the best in the world, but it's still fun to do and hear them talk back to you. It's fun to hunt with friends like Cole because he knows he's a good caller, knows what he's doing out there. I'm still kind of new to the sport, turkey hunting, but it's just fun to do.
She might pull them birds over here.
Oh yeah,
Get your gun up.
Get your gun up. I see him.
See him?
Yeah. There they come. Move slow. He's got a nice beard on him.
Yeah.
This year turkey hunting, I went out the first day by myself and didn't have much luck. I had some birds gobbling close, but nothing that would really do anything. So Cole called me that evening and said he had killed his bird and wanted to know if I wanted any help calling in a bird or trying to call in a bird. So we went out the next day, the second day of the season, and set up in a field, a clover field, and we had 2 birds come off the roost and come right into the field. And they was out there strutting and spitting and drumming, all that kind of stuff. But just there would come the decoys. We didn't think they could see the decoys because there's a small ridge in front of them. So we decided to go eat breakfast and call it a day. We come out the second day and set up on the same 2 birds, but they went the other way. So we heard some more birds gobbling off to our left, so we decided to make a move on them in a quick setup. We got to set up and called, and they come in, and we could see them. But same thing, we don't think they could see the decoys, so they kind of went to the field behind us, and we was watching the whole time, and actually had a bearded hen come in, and I thought about shooting her, but I decided to let her walk because I knew these gobblers was right behind us. And we was going to get up and make a move on these 2 birds, but when Cole stood up to go pick up the decoys, they must have seen that bearded hen because they come back to us and was coming around the corner. So Cole had to hurry up and sit back down, and we did a little more soft calling, and that gobbler come right into the decoys, and I made a good 30-yard shot on him.
Shoot him. Good shot, buddy. Get on safety?
Yep.
All right. Woo! Oh, that's a good bird. I want to see how old he is. Oh, he's got a good beard on him. Oh yeah.
Spurs.
Yep, he's got good spurs. Real good spurs. Probably inch and a quarter maybe. Probably a 3-year-old, maybe a 4-year-old.
Well, I try to hunt and fish as much as possible. I spend a lot more time hunting. I was a big fisherman growing up. Spent a lot of time on the lake. I was raised up on the lake here in Tennessee. But as I grew older, I got into turkey hunting and deer hunting, and that's really my true passion, more so than fishing. But I'm a big outdoorsman. I love to get out in the outside. I don't like to be inside too often, and I really enjoy the outdoors and being outside and the camaraderie between friends and getting to camp and hunt and spend time in the wilderness. And that's where I feel most confident and more comfortable, and I really enjoy it, and it's a true passion of mine. Well, I live in the city, and there's not as much of the great outdoors in the city. A lot of water where I live, but not a lot of country. So I really enjoy and cherish the moments getting outside of town and getting into the outer areas of Middle Tennessee and spending time in the woods, whether it be hunting or anything along the lines of just getting outdoors. So I do spend a lot of time in the city. I live in the city, I work in the city.
Blood Brothers TV will be right back.
Get yours today at Cabela's and participating supercenters or your local sporting goods retailer.
Welcome back to Blood Brothers TV.
My time that I do have to spend away from work and away from family and everything is if when I do have spare time, which is seldom, I do try to get into the outdoors. If I didn't spend time outdoors, I'd be a lost soul. I do really enjoy it, and even when I'm in town and at the house, I like to do stuff around the yard. I like to do stuff outside. Don't like to be penned up inside. During the week, I'm really inside a whole lot. I spend time in the office most day, every day, so I really do cherish being outside. If I didn't have the outdoors, I'd probably be a lost soul, because I do enjoy it so much that it's just a part of me. And if I didn't have that part of my life, I don't know what else I'd be into. When I was probably around junior high school age, I really expressed an interest in starting to get into the hunting end of things. I had been fishing most of my life, as a kid, and as I got of age to where I could, have a firearm and be outside, I started squirrel hunting on a friend's property that I went to junior high school with. He was raised on a farm, and we'd go home with him after school and squirrel hunt. And at the time, there weren't very many deer at all. There were no turkey. It was a big deal if you even saw a deer, so we'd get real excited about it. We started wanting to gradually go from squirrel hunting to larger game, and so we got into deer hunting, and like I said, we didn't have very much action in the first years just because there weren't so many deer, but now the TWRA's done such a great job with the deer and the turkey. Now we do have turkey and lots of deer and lots of turkey, and so that's how I kind of got into hunting. My father wasn't a big hunter and knew I had a passion for it, really wanted to do it. He introduced me to a friend of his, a business partner, and that gentleman was a big outdoorsman, and he kind of mentored me and took me along with him and showed me things and taught me how to go about deer hunting, and I started going with him and really enjoyed it. Then I had other friends that were also into it, and we'd go to different properties that we had access to, and it was really fun watching the number of deer increase and more action in the woods and seeing more wildlife. So it's come a long way since then. That was a blessing, having someone mentor me and help me and show me some things and kind of take me under their wing. So I was very grateful to that gentleman for doing that. I do feel like that was a big role in getting me introduced and getting me into hunting, and I do feel fortunate to have that. A lot of kids nowadays don't have access to property. They don't have someone to show them, how to get out and how to go about it and how to have a good time doing it, and just teach them that hunting and being outdoors, it's what it's all about. It's not always about killing or taking game, but just being outdoors and enjoying what the good Lord above gave us to have. And I was fortunate to have that in my life, and a lot of people just don't have that today. So as a kid, I had that, and I feel like that was a great thing that happened to me to get me introduced to it, because so many kids today, especially inner city, they don't have that in their life, and it's a sad thing that they don't have that. Well, I love the spring. The spring is such a beautiful time here in Tennessee. The dogwoods are blooming, and everything is green and it's warm, and I enjoy getting outside in those conditions, and it's a comfortable climate. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's just right in between. It's perfect. I love the turkey hunting, the gobble on the roost, the difficulty involved in getting out and taking a tom and getting exercise and walking around on beautiful property and chasing turkeys around. It's such a fun, satisfying thing, and a lot of people don't understand it, but those that do truly grasp how great of a thing that it is.
Blood Brothers TV will be right back.
Are you geared up for this upcoming turkey season? Serious turkey hunters will now find all their bases covered at their local sporting goods retailer. Cherokee Sports Featherlight Fusion Series decoys are designed to be the most realistic and mobile decoy produced today. Super lightweight and compact photo printed bodies with heads molded from real freeze-dried turkeys. It just doesn't get any more realistic. From the full strut Billy Bad Act to the feeding wobblehead hen with multiple models in between, turkey hunters will find a decoy for every need. By far the most mobile and realistic decoys on the market, these decoys will fit in the side pocket of most turkey vests, enabling you to carry a whole flock easily. If you're serious about being successful this turkey season, you'll want the very best decoy available. Cherokee Sports Fusion Series turkey decoys have got you covered. Available at Gander Mountain, The Sportsman's Guide, and fine sporting goods retailers. Get yours today.
Welcome back to Blood Brothers TV.
I was fortunate to get involved in the very first season that we had turkey hunting here in Tennessee. I was graduating from college and my brother married a girl who came from a family farm and had great property where there were turkey. The very first season, my brother and I did a lot of research and we were trying to get into it and watching hunting shows and reading books and talking to people, and we figured, you know, we'd give it a try. And at the time, I didn't even know much about it, but we learned, and we had a successful first season. My brother took a turkey. We thought, whoa, this is easy, you know, but then we really learned how difficult it is. It was certainly a lot of fun getting into it from the get-go. It was late morning, we were patient. All of a sudden, we heard a thunder gobble. We knew it was close. That got us really fired up. We were like, okay, here we go, we've got some action. And then another, and then another. Then we realized it wasn't just one tom, but multiple toms. We finally looked over the saddle, and all we could see was the top of a fan. That really got us going. We were like, okay, this really could work. This might amount to something. About that time, we saw a big red head that was separate from the top of the fan. Ends up being that there were 4 toms and 2 hens. We had a couple of turkey decoys out in front of us down below the saddle, and it was very difficult trying to get them off that hill. They didn't want to come down off the hill. I think the determining factor was the 2 hens finally came down the hill into the decoys, and at that point, one of the 4 toms couldn't stand it any longer, and he decided to come down the hill. When that one bird broke loose from the group of 4 and finally decided he was going to come down the hill, we knew that we were going to get an opportunity, and it was amazing. He strutted the whole way down the hill. It wasn't a run into the decoys situation. He just gradually strutted his way down the hill towards the decoys and towards the direction that the hens went, and it was absolutely amazing. At that point, I knew we were going to have an opportunity at that bird. I have to tell you, I was pretty excited. Having 4 toms strutting, you know, within 50 yards and to have one break from the top of the hill and actually devote to coming down the hill, boy, was that exciting. Situations like that are just, you know, that's the cream of the crop. That's what it's all about. When you actually set up and do all the work and decide where to be and devote all the time and effort into it, and then to actually have success and scenario right in front of you, it's such a beautiful thing, and you know, situations like that, it's what it's all about.
Way to go, 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 way to go.
Awesome day. What a morning. It's what drives you to the next hunt, to the next hunt. It's not, you know, definitely I'm not successful all the time by far, but it's situations like that when you are successful and you do have that happen in front of you. It's what drives you and what keeps you going, and it was a truly beautiful morning and a great experience.
Blood Brothers TV rocks. Become a Blood Brother by going to www.bloodbrotherstv.com. Brought to you by Cherokee Sports. You've been watching Blood Brothers TV.